Man, I'm just really exhausted. I'm exhausted from the media. I'm exhausted from what I see on my Facebook timeline. I mean, every time I get on there, it's just a barrage of um, race baiting, victimhood, this whole taking a knee thing with Kaepernick. I totally disagree with the taking a knee thing. I mean, there's room to protest. I get it. And you have the right to protest. Nobody is disagreeing with that. It is the method in which it's being done. Um, Dishonoring the flag, just dishonoring the country and the way they do it. And I don't care. I know people are saying it's not about the flag. These NFL players, they love this country. They respect the military. If you did, you wouldn't be doing it during the anthem. If you did, you wouldn't be doing it when the flag is being flown. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, if you want your message to be heard, why would you do it at that point? I mean, people try to say, it's not about the flag, but I listened and I read the transcript of what Colin Kaepernick said. And he said he couldn't stand for a flag that represents a country that oppresses black people. And so he's making it about the flag. And I'm just like, what are we talking about here? I mean, what is the end game? Is the end game to just prove that this country is oppressive to black people by and large? Like all the black people in this country are just being oppressed? Is that what the aim really is? Is that where the conversation, is that where people are really trying to take it? I mean, and when I say people, I mean Democrats, because they're the only ones who really want this conversation. And by conversation, what they really mean is listen to what we have to say, admit you're wrong, and then craft laws and give us money, all right, and benefits in such a way that we are owed. And I just totally disagree with that, and that's just foolishness. This country, okay, has given everybody, not just black people, but everybody, benefits, privileges, and rights that you would never find in other countries. I mean, I don't care where you go in Europe, and nowhere in Africa will you find a country, a republic that provides the blessings and privileges that you have here in America. I just don't get it. And it just bothers me to the core about how people play the victim so much. And this really kind of boils down to, I mean, we talk about systematic oppression. And that's why I see a lot, the black people are oppressed, systematic oppression. A lot of this has to do with white cops killing black people unarmed. And I just looked at the numbers. I don't have a PhD in economics or statistics or whatever, but I do my best just to look at numbers and not just be an emotional, just an emotionally driven kind of guy. And so I looked at the numbers. I'm like, okay, well, how many black people are shot unarmed by the police? And I looked in 2015 on the Washington Post database, and I'll link it in the info description box, that there were 38 black people. I think it was 36 actual black men that were killed by the police unarmed in 2015. And in 2017 or 2016, it was 17 black people killed unarmed by the police. And so far in 2017, it's 10 people killed unarmed by the police. I mean, this is oppression. And I'm not saying like, hey, every case should be evaluated and we should look at it. But I mean, is that oppression? The fact that 10 black people this year have been killed unarmed by the police. I looked at the 38 black people that were killed by the police in the Washington Post database. The majority of them, it's listed that they resisted arrest and attacked the officer. I'm not saying that because you resist arrest, you need to die. But I'm saying these people weren't angels. And I'm saying that it doesn't mean that just because you're killed unarmed, then obviously something is wrong, that oppression took place. I mean, but this is the oppression we're talking about? I saw another study from the CDC that said that blacks being killed by the police has gone down by 75% over the last 5 decades. This is the epidemic we're talking about. Black people being killed 75% less over the last 5 decades. What epidemic are we talking about here? I mean, this is what gets me so riled up and gets me so just bothered that the Democrats, they focus on this race baiting issue. You don't see Republicans, you know. You may see some people that are Republicans that don't want to talk about race at all because some of them just don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be called a bigot. But there's other people that just don't buy it because they look in the numbers and they're like, bad things happen to black people. Bad things happen to Latinos and white people. I mean, there was a black officer that shot a white man unarmed in Utah. I bet a lot of you people listening, watching this video, you can't even name the person. You don't even know who it is. I'll link it in the description box below because I can't remember the guy's name right now. But it happened. And it was crickets. Nobody really heard anything about it because it was a black man that shot a white guy unarmed. But this is the oppression. I mean, I was looking at a study done by the National Institutes of Justice. Shout out to Larry Elder. And it was talking about how blacks are, we can't talk about black, interactions with the police without talking about black offending, the rates of blacks committing crimes. I mean, blacks commit more murders. They commit more violent crimes. They commit more robberies than anybody else. And based on that, with those types of crimes, you're going to have police involvement. And you're going to have more police, you're going to have more encounters with the police than you are than whites, Latinos, or Asians are. And if you have more encounters with the police, there is a greater chance that you're going to have encounters with the police, especially if you're committing violent crimes. Those police encounters are going to end in some people being killed, even though white people are killed twice as much as black people are. In that same Washington Post survey or database, 250 in 2015, 250 black people were killed by the police. 500 white people were killed by the police. And some people are going to say, well, Chidi, there's way more white people, so it makes sense that more white people are killed. But the problem is that white people only commit 10% of the violent crime in America, I believe. Yet they're killed more often than black people who commit more violent crime. I mean, statistically, white people should be killed less than black people, even though they're way more of the population. But we're talking about systematic oppression. You know, we're talking about all these things that are just dividing people and taking their mind off the things that would make them successful. Instead of thinking about, man, I live in a great country. I have all these opportunities and things may happen, but I'm no victim. I'm not going to let anything happen. I'm not going to let something that I see on TV. I'm not going to let some pundit on CNN get me to think and feel like I'm a victim. I'm not going to let that happen. I mean, I've been pulled over by the cops many times, and every time I was pulled over by the cop, I was in the wrong. Either something wrong with my car, my taillight was out, I was speeding, made a illegal U-turn, made a right turn on red when there was a sign posted, whatever it is, I was always in the wrong. And I understand some people got pulled over by the cops and you've had a bad run-in with the cop. But that doesn't, one bad apple or a couple bad apples don't taint the whole bunch. Just in the same way, you who are watching this video, if somebody said they had a bad run-in with a black person, and now they say they don't trust black people, you would be offended by that. And so would I. But when it comes to the cops and you have a bad run with the cop and then somebody says, yeah, because these pigs, man, they don't care about black people. All they care about is killing black people and oppressing black people. You'll have a bunch of black people co-sign on that, agreeing with that. And I'm like, well, how hypocritical is that? This is what I'm talking about. People, we need to wake up. God has blessed us to be in a wonderful country. And I don't idolize this country. Look, I put God first. I put Jesus Christ first. My faith in him is first. I know that he's going to guard, guide, and protect me and lead me, okay, because he's faithful, and I keep him first. But I know that God has also blessed me to be in America, which I know is the best country in the entire world. And these people who are talking about, America's not great, they're out their mind. Straight up. They have lost their mind. And if I'm telling you, as people get offended by me, like, look, if you don't like this country, you got plenty of options. Hey, by all means, get your passport ready. Go somewhere else. Like, hey, if they'll take you in, you go and check it out. You ain't got to leave permanently. Just go check it out and see, test the waters. See if America's not what it's cracked up to be. I'm not leaving this country. Please believe that. But the Democrats, CNN, the media pundits, their job, especially the Democrats, is keep the black people angry. Keep them angry, keep them feeling that they're oppressed, keep them feeling that white people and their privilege is your problem. And if not for them, you would be successful. If not for them, you wouldn't be pulled over. If not for them, you'd go to the college that you want. If not for them, you'd be working at the job that you want. You fill in the blank. Their job is to divide you. And you look at all these different precincts, all these different cities, Detroit, New York, Chicago. I mean, you keep on naming all these Baltimore, all these neighborhoods that are filled and ran by Democrat politicians. They're not doing well at all. They're not meeting the people's needs. The people in there are suffering because of policy, not because of oppression, but because of the policies, progressive, leftist, Democrat policies. I mean, if Democrats had the solution, you would think that the Detroits, the Baltimores, the Chicagos will be a shining city on a hill, but none of them are. So, I mean, I don't get it. I'm like, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake the heck up, grow the heck up. If you want to be successful, trust God, trust in the Lord. Don't look at anybody else to point the blame to. Go find the closest mirror. Look and think about your life. Think about, what have I done that maybe I could have done differently? What are some things that I've said, the way I've treated some people, some decisions that I've made that I should have done differently? And let me move forward, hope for the best, work my tail off, and make the right decisions in life. Because dang it, I'm in America and I have opportunity in this land. That's really all I got to say. I mean, like I said, it's time to wake up. Have an honest look at why you vote Democrat. Are they really helping you to move forward, or are they helping you to be angry? And I believe that they're helping you to be angry. And you need to wake up. You need to look at the decisions you're making and the people that you're surrounding yourself around, and get anybody out of your life who makes you want to think like a victim, and get those people who want to support you, encourage you, and point you to things that are positive and help you to think like somebody who can be a conqueror. I'm more than a conqueror because Christ made me to be more than a conqueror. And the people I'm going to surround myself around are going to be the people that want to be conquerors too. I'm done, y'all. I'm out. You guys have a great one. If you watch this whole video all the way through, I appreciate it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of the evening. See you on the next one. I'm out.